BB851, turn right, heading 180. 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established 27.
American Airlines has been frequently featured here on the channel, so continuing on with their coverage in the past week, they've made some pretty major changes to their overall summer plans, and in addition the retirement of aircraft in the future that were originally not slated to depart. We begin, however, with their schedule changes. As you might be aware, if you did check out the situation at Video of American earlier in the week, I believe, cuts to capacity are indeed being seen widely across the board with them. However, these cuts are going to continue, with the airline announcing some major changes to their operations for the summer period of this year. Now that's 2020 for anyone that might be watching this video later down the line. American Airlines is going to be suspending more than 60% of its international operations this summer period. This is when comparing to numbers for its 2019 peak period that is known as the summer period. This will see 80% of the Pacific capacity reduced, meanwhile 65% for the Atlantic and a further 47% to Latin America. The changes, as you might be aware, come following the outbreak of COVID-19, which has put demand for travel at an all-time low. In addition, various government restrictions which have also been implemented have indeed resulted in the airline needing to make changes to its operations to better place itself. New services to Auckland and Christchurch will also be put on hold. These were expected originally and rather slated to begin this year, but will now begin in the winter season of 2021. Should this all go according to plan, there's always the chance that we could see more delays, given the unknown with COVID-19. Additional services to key locations like London from Boston will now also be changing and will be delayed. American Airlines had already made the announcement regarding fleet that a lot would change over the coming months, with the immediate retirement of aircraft such as the Boeing 757, and then the retirement also of the Boeing 767, two fantastic workhorses with the airline. On top of these retirements, the airline is also seeking up to US $12 billion in government aid. However, thanks to an exclusive report by Reuters, we've also learned that the airline plans, in addition to retire a batch of 76 Boeing 737s, this is a batch of 76 aircraft that it roughly acquired 20 or so years ago. 20 E190s will also be included, and finally 9 of their A330-300s. This is a move that will essentially see them slim down their fleet, but also better cope with demand through fuel-efficient aircraft and operations. The thinking behind this, as mentioned, has a lot to do with demand, but it's also with the planned 737 MAXs, with more of them expected to be delivered come by year's end. So the need for older aircraft, while you could always argue may be there, is not enough for them to keep them. In addition, with the MAX, it's ultimately more fuel efficient, and doesn't need as much maintenance and doesn't cost as much money as these older aircraft. While it's an ambitious goal to welcome on more 737 MAXs by year's end with the unknown, it's something American are indeed planning for. The retirement, though, of aircraft around the globe has been a massive topic, with more and more carriers accelerating the retirement of their iconic jets, like the Boeing 747, and even their longer-serving aircraft, in favour of, when the airline industry returns to normal operations, flying fuel-efficient jets. We see demand for new aircraft usually based off life cycles. Like anything, when something is built, it serves a purpose for a specific amount of time. It's then moved on in favour of something new. While not exactly at the same rate for new models, the same type of thing can be applied to a typical car owner who, say, maybe goes a decade or maybe a little bit less with a car before moving on to something new, the latest model. If we apply that thinking to, say, an aircraft bracket or area or market even, if we say an NMA is needed, like the A321XLR, it's often produced at a point in time when demand is there. Supply and demand. Carriers are looking for an aircraft like this, as the vast majority of airlines around the world wrap up operations with the former 757 and 767 series. However, if you released, say, the A321XLR only a year after producing the 757 and also 767, one of these aircraft would likely become redundant and not necessary. You have to plan it perfectly and wait. With that being said, if you have any thoughts on American reducing their capacity further and in addition proceeding with the retirement of additional aircraft units, do feel free to let me know either on the comments or over on Twitter. Until the next video, thank you very much for your continued support. Please do indeed stay safe, and I'll see you all next time.